Introducing the new party, We Live stream, every Tuesday and Thursday p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It's gonna come out how it come out. You feel me? Yo, none of this is rehearsed. Everything is off the top.
Vulgar. Welcome to the man cave.
Do that every time. All right, y'all. Welcome to the man cave, where we keep it raw, uncut, unfiltered. Just coming out with that truth. Ain't no your truth, my truth. It's only the truth and God's truth. I'm Vulgar.
I'm Gray Mars.
And I'm Easy. This is the man cave. Boop, 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 boop.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna start off tonight. A little political. My boy, he started his layoffs.
Trump?
Yeah. Starting a major layoffs. So let me go ahead and start with that.
All right.
Let me come back.
All right. So.
Washington and the Trump administration's beginning mass layoffs of federal workers impacting multiple agencies. Tens of thousands of employees are expected to lose their jobs. Our senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is tracking the latest from the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
Rebecca, good morning to you. And federal workers who did not resign as part of that buyout offer were warned that they could possibly be laid off or fired. And this morning, we are learning that mass layoffs have started across multiple federal agencies. This morning, the Trump administration taking its sweeping efforts to shrink the size of the federal workforce one step further, ordering agencies to lay off nearly all probationary employees, meaning those hired within the last 1 or 2 years. A move that could impact as many as 220,000 federal workers. At the Department of Veteran Affairs alone, more than 1,000 new workers were dismissed. Overnight, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau also firing term employees, with expectations that the rest may be fired today, leaving a skeleton staff of around 5%. The CFPB and VA are just two of several agencies that have started to cut federal workers so far. The administration also targeting the Department of Education and the Environmental Protection Agency. The largest federal employee union slamming the layoffs, calling it a blatant violation of the principles of fairness and merit that are supposed to govern federal employment, and saying the firings are about power. At some agencies, workers learned by email they had been laid off. But at the Office of Personnel Management, others found out on a call.
You will receive your termination notice via email shortly. As a result, your employment with the Office of Personnel Management will end today.
Elon Musk, who has billions of dollars in federal contracts and is spearheading the efforts to slash government spending, also calling for the elimination of whole agencies. Musk sitting down with Indian Prime Minister Modi Thursday before he met with President Trump. The president unsure the capacity of Musk's meeting and whether Musk was acting as a private citizen wanting to do business in India or a member of the administration.
I would imagine he met possibly because, he's running a company.
Trump pushed on how a foreign leader may know the difference.
Well, he's meeting with me in a little while, so I'm going to ask him that question.
So the Indian prime minister was also asked if they discussed any business. He would only say that he has known Elon Musk for a very long time, guys.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much.
All right, so that's that. Want to go, Gray?
Yeah, I think so. I read some articles. Some people, younger people, seem happy about what Trump is doing because they get some type of money to leave their job, so they feel like, oh, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I think the people that's there that saw this as a career and thought that they were going to retire from this, they're going to be the ones upset because of federal job, a state job, any job with the government is going to have a good benefits. You might not have good pay, but you're going to have good benefits.
Easy.
Yeah, on the flip side, this is going to affect a lot of veterans. I saw the Department of Veteran Affairs was definitely affected. That's going to slow down a lot of processing times. I mean, anybody that has some kind of claim right now it's going to take longer because they're firing all these people that was doing these jobs. So, um, I don't, man, I don't know what he's doing, man. It's this is bad, man. Like people losing a lot of paychecks, man, and I mean, how about these people that's maybe have like college degrees and they just got these jobs? They said that they fired anybody that was in prohibited like it's 2 year status. So if you haven't been there, for 3 4 years, you probably got fired. Like, I mean, this is crazy. These people are educated people. These ain't no idiot people. Like these people got college education, bro. So I think it's sad, bro.
So I keep telling everybody because I guess a lot of my friends and close people, I am the person to debate with since I'm the only Trumper. And what I've literally said is I'm giving it 2 years. So I really don't have an opinion right now. I'm just waiting to see. It can end up being a good thing or a bad thing. But I will play devil's advocate tonight since there's only three of us. So this is a business. America is a business. Government is a business. And in business, you have to make hard decisions. Sometimes you have to scale back. I could say that the government has been bloated. Like there's been just jobs being given out just to give people jobs. Like the DEI sector. Like I didn't, I don't know if it takes, we got to pay somebody 50 to 100,000 to run a DEI department. So I will say I do think there's a lot of bloat in government, and maybe it's not a bad thing. We have AI coming along now that's getting better. Maybe that's what Trump is trying to force. Sometimes when you put people in certain situations, they either gonna do or die. You know what I'm saying? So he could be doing this to make people innovative. Now that the government don't have a bunch of, warm bodies, 98.6 degrees just sitting around. Now the people that's in there that want to keep their jobs, now they got to compete and come up with ways to make the government efficient. So this could be a good thing. It seems bad, but people are resilient and people have a way of figuring things out.
And Vulgar, I have a question now. How would you feel if you was one of them employees that got fired? I mean, be honest. I want you to be real honest, bro. It's
How would I
heartbreaking,
feel?
dog. You
I
can't
mean,
sugarcoat it. It's very heartbreaking, dog.
it's heartbreaking, but I've been through so many changes and things in my life that I just have to sit down and come up with a plan on how to move forward. I really don't sit like when it comes to changes in life, I don't really have emotion to that anymore. I get thrown things all the time, and I figured out I didn't live in the street. I didn't live in my car before. A lot of things have happened to me, and even in those, I find that in those times, I literally try to train my brain to be happy in the worst times. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it wouldn't
Mhm.
bother me if I got laid off. Okay, this is not going to work. What's the next door I'm about to go through? And I would advise anybody that's watching this that may have been a part of those layoffs, don't sit in it. There are many things you can do to um, overcome. It's going to be hard, but you just got to sit down, hunker down, come up with a plan on how you're going to move forward.
So what I see
Mm.
from a lot of conservatives is they basically are happy because they saying all this has been a misuse of tax money. That they spending money on stuff that we don't need. Like one of the biggest things was they spent money on condoms, even though that wasn't true. That they spent money on condoms in Gaza. Like they're saying all this excess spending needs to be like curtailed, needs to be controlled. So my question to you, Volga, and you too, Easy, even though you didn't vote, you said you're gonna vote for Trump. Right. So
Whatever, yo.
if like to the American consumer, this money that they're saving is the expectations from MAGA that they're gonna take that money and give it to the American consumer, or is it just like, well, we don't want to just spend the money, like we going into debt? Like, what's the thought process on
I'll let you go, Easy.
Mm. Man, I don't know, bro. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like I have faith in Trump as a businessman. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, he had failed businesses, failed businesses." Most people who have businesses have failed. I'm telling you, to actually start a business and it hit the first time is like going to Vegas and hitting. You know what I'm saying? Most people you just don't see it. Like everybody has this Hollywood Disney World view of you just started and it's all magical. And like, no, you have to fall, get up again. First, you don't succeed, dust yourself off, and try again. It's just that we seen Trump publicly with, was it Taj Mahal and all the other things fail, but the man is a multi-billionaire now. He is successful, even when people want to dog him out. So I do have faith that he has a plan, a good plan, and he's pretty much using what he did with his own within America. And I agree, because all this is a business. To me, everything is a business. A marriage is a business, your relationships, everything is like how you do one thing is how you do everything. And it's really just put in a different body, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but I want to say that this ain't no regular job. This is actually like a career jobs. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no Burger King down the street job. Like, bro,
I
people's
mean,
careers, like people had to have certain qualifications to get those jobs. Like you had to have such and such years in college and this experience and stuff like that. I mean, these ain't just like regular jobs you can just go apply for, anybody can get. You have to have certain qualifications to get those jobs.
no, I get that. And that's what any, as you climb the ladder, any job that's dealing with management or some specialized skill, yeah, you got to have something to get it. I don't think that mean anything. I had a really good contract with a Shurion in Nashville to help build a mechanic program when Biden did the Green New Deal and all that stuff a few years ago, and things started going up, prices started getting high. I don't know if y'all remember those layoffs in 22. I got my it was like a bunch of layoffs at a bunch of companies in like August of 2022, and they were hinting at a recession coming. I got my contract canceled. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't really cry over spilled milk. I just had to move forward and take the severance they gave me and flip it. You know what I'm saying? That's just a part of life. Like, I don't see I think people are publicizing what Trump is doing more than usual, but all presidents do layoffs and bring in their own cabinet. So I just think, yeah, people are sensationalizing it. The media is really going with it. Why? So they can keep y'all in y'all emotions and keep y'all watching their commercials so everybody get paid.
Now, I have one more quick thing before we go to the next subject. But I mean, I'm not tripping about the layoffs really. I'm tripping about the amount. I mean, that was a large amount of people. It was 200 something thousand, right? Like, bro,
Yeah.
that's not 10, 15, 20. That's 220, whatever the number was. Like, y'all, bro, come on, man. It's crazy.
I mean, but the thing is, I hope they did an assessment. Is a lot of this stuff really needed, especially when we have technology now?
Bro, that's almost 250,000 people, bro.
And
Like,
and
come
that
on, bro.
and that's what I was gonna bring up to y'all, not to like keep carrying on, but do y'all think that's what Elon Musk's plan is, to like replace these people with AI?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Everything is about efficiency, not people's emotions, not their well-being. It's really about efficiency at the end of the day. Like, I know a lot of people's feelings are hurt. Here in KC, there's like on Facebook, a few of the people I follow, they do a lot of agriculture stuff, like community gardens and stuff. And I guess a lot of that was being subsidized by the USDA. And all I see on my timeline is where I guess they got a letter from Elon and they cut the funding to it.
Wow.
And, you know, I know they're emotional, so I haven't responded. But my initial thought was, this is why we must fund our communities ourselves. You know, bringing it back to Black people. We got to figure out ways to come up with our own money, our own funding. I think the lesson here is we shouldn't be looking to the government for everything, because guess what? It could be pulled from under you. That's why I don't want reparations, because I feel like if the government gives you something, if you're relying on it, they could pull that rug from under you at any time. anything from the government should be temporary. Like even your job, you work for the government, you should be putting away 20-30% everything you make, live under, put it away, because you don't know. Like, you got every 4 years you can have somebody different come in office. So your job is never secure. This could have been happened. People just got comfortable. I think the good thing about Trump is he making people realize you can't be this comfortable. What Future say? Don't get too comfortable. I mean,
don't get too comfortable. Yeah. That's exactly what he said.
Anything else? Or?
You go to the next clip.
All right. Let me see what I got in the bag.
Slim on vacation, y'all. He normally here with us. He's like the main fourth member, and then Jay comes sometimes, but he working right now.
Getting the bread.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if y'all heard the charges against Diddy and Jay were dropped. So we can go in on that a little bit.
Busby voluntarily dismissing Jay-Z and Diddy's lawsuit with prejudice, like, speaks volumes to me. And obviously Diddy is in some shit with all of the federal criminal indictments, but you can't expect that, like, at least some of these lawsuits are going to be phony and just like jumping on the bandwagon and see if they can, make money. And like the effect legally of a voluntary dismissal, so like that's not a stipulation of dismissal. If they settled, you would have a stipulation of dismissal, okay, that like both parties would agree to the language, and they'd have a settlement and release in a non-disclosure agreement that goes with it and all that kind of stuff. So you can either file a stipulation of dismissal, or you can file a notice of voluntary dismissal. And most of the time when you file a notice of voluntary dismissal, you file it without prejudice, which means like maybe you've decided not to pursue it right now. Maybe you made an error in which jurisdiction you wanted to file, maybe like for whatever reasons, but you basically reserve the right when you file. That's basically the plaintiff who filed the complaint saying, I'm not going to file it right now, I'm going to withdraw it. And so you usually do that without prejudice, meaning you can file it again. To voluntary dismiss something with prejudice, that means that those claims that Tony Busby alleged on behalf of that plaintiff can never be brought again. Never. And so what that means to me is that like clearly there was something very, very wrong with the claims. And then that means to me that I'm going to have a hard time crediting Busby with other things, because it's like, if you didn't vet your plaintiffs well enough when you know they're going to be under crazy scrutiny. So check one box for the win for Jay-Z and Diddy.
So I'll let y'all go, but pretty much, I know that was long. Just to sum it up, she basically saying that the lawyer picked up some bullshit. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say what's happening, what the Me Too movement in some ways has turned into is a cash grab. So like now you have these celebrities where they scared to throw rice at a wedding, because if they do, they'll probably get an assault charge. Like that's why they had these girls signing NDAs and everything like that, because it's a quick million. I mean, if you say, hey, this person did this to me, you could be a millionaire tomorrow, because it's not about a criminal court that a lot of these people care about. It's a civil. And I know women hate hearing that type of stuff, but there are people out there. And if there's a bag to get, there's always going to be the wolves out there that's go get that bag.
Easy.
Yeah, Tony Busby, I think he's just one of them lawyers that's trying to, go for like a money grab. When I first heard about the allegations, honestly, I really didn't believe him. I mean, like, I had several conversations with Gray about this subject. I just didn't believe him, man. I thought it was a hoax. It just didn't sound believable. You know what I mean? Like, if you add, cause I actually read the story and the charges, whatever. It just didn't sound believable, man. It was just some hogwash BS. So I'm glad Jay got that victory because I'm pretty sure that was stressing him out, especially over the holidays. You know what I'm saying? That kind of distraction when you're trying to have your family time, that's some BS. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a prime example of why we cannot believe all women. That is the flaw in this. I knew this was pretty much BS when the father came out and said he couldn't remember taking his daughter on the road to that party or wherever it was at. And I don't know what could be done, but I do think there has to be some type of controls put in place on like frivolous type cases like this. I don't
That's what I'm
know.
saying.
Yeah. I think
I,
courts can
I
kind
wouldn't.
of choose what they want to hear, but it's almost like if even if they know it's frivolous and they stop choosing to hear these type of cases, you're going to have the feminists and all the women coming out the woodwork complaining. And I think that's why this is a big thing, because a lot of people don't really want due process. They just want, anytime somebody say something, we should be going after and convicting. And I don't think that's right.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think Jay-Z should actually try to go after them because this wasn't no, bro. That was a crazy charge they were trying to hit them with, even though it was a civil suit. Still, I mean, those allegations are heinous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
But you know what though? I know the one person they won't mess with is 50. Hey, 50 and I guarantee you won't hear nothing unless it really happened, because they already know if you go after 50, he's coming back at you and he will not stop.
50, of course, is gonna go buck wild. Look what he doing at Meach just for taking a picture with Ross.
Did he actually? Because I don't really watch TV like that, but I heard he canceled the show.
So all the rappers pretty much were on 50 side. So Lil Baby, I think, was the first one to cancel, and then like all the other rappers started to pull out, saying that they weren't gonna go and perform. Even though Meach had put out a video saying like, "Oh, I'm just trying to feed my family. I'm not trying to entertain this." And then he promoted the concert, but 50 just kept attacking him on Instagram, like going at him over and over again.
So what was the original situation with that?
So, Easy, you want to go or you want me to go?
Yeah, I want to add that, you got to think about what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, Meech comes home and then he's messing with his enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a good look,
Video.
especially when he was putting paper in Little Meech's pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you go mess with my enemy? You know what I'm saying? When I'm putting bread in your pocket, like I put you through acting school. Like 50 Cent paid for Little Meech's acting school. You know what I'm saying? Like he invested in him, and then even though he didn't have no control over his pops doing what he did, you know what I'm saying? Just seems like it's not loyal. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, that makes sense, because a lot of people have been trying to make it seem like 50 is just this huge narcissist, which I probably could see a little bit of that. But yeah, I would be upset too if I really took y'all in and and then you went to my enemy. Yeah, I could see where that's an issue.
Yeah, that's what the situation was. I mean, is 50 Cent being super petty? Definitely, because that's who he is. That's his personality. He's super petty.
But yeah.
I was gonna let me play. It's kind of small.
Trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always with me. So I'm doing this for my loved ones and the support of my friends and family to come out to the Amaran Arena, February 13th.
Boy, that jail did him in, didn't it? You're like, he was too tired to do that promo.
Yeah, 50 the worst person to go at. But is there any kind of case where there's a guy that brought a case against a woman that was a celebrity and got a big money settlement? I can't think of one.
Nah, because we're not gonna do that. We're not out looking for money like that. We're more so gonna grind it out. Yeah, I don't see men doing anything like that. Maybe the most is them trying to get something out of the divorce or something like that. But most men not about to take time. I could tell you it's been at least 5 times I've been essayed by a woman, and I keep on walking. I've literally had a woman come up and grab my nuts.
Wow.
With the police right there, and the officer was like, "Do you want to press charges?" I was like, "No, I'm good." I was waiting on some of my coworkers to come meet me after we got off work, and it happened. I just wanted to meet with my coworkers and drink, but he literally was like, "Do you want to press charges?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm good." So I think that's more. I think a lot of this stuff is almost equal. I would say a lot of this stuff is probably equal. Men just don't report it the same way women do.
Right. Men also don't report like when men harass them. That's underreported too. Yeah.
Yeah, we normally it's gonna have to be something deep, like the dude is stalking and looking for you, or his gang or something. We looking for protection, but yeah, other than that, we gonna fight it out. Well, that's it. And y'all had any issues like that from women or?
I had women attack me where it's like, okay, like chill, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl ain't trying to get no domestic. I've had that, but like SA, not really, because most of the time I'm with it. Most of the time, like, okay, girl, just give me a minute. Let me make sure my main chilling, and I got the spot around the corner. So,
see, you involved. Nah, this one that touched me was maybe a little bit smaller than Dank, so I was like, I'm good. You wouldn't have took it on.
I feel you.
Nah, I'm good.
What about you, Easy? You been SA before?
No, bro. I just said no earlier.
Huh? Oh, you said no. Okay.
I said no earlier.
All right, let's see what we got, man. Quiet without 85 here, man.
And Jay.
Yeah, and Jay, I need some opposition, man. I need somebody to come in here and argue or something.
Yo, wow.
Easy too late, man. Slim gonna be Slim. You in the comments trying to Slim gonna be passionate. Like, nah. Like if Slim was here, matter of fact, I'll speak for Slim. Slim was here, be like, hey, this because the court system is designed to go after men, and in a way, it is. Like the divorce, the child support. We always talk about child support. The civil. It doesn't matter. They want to take everything away from a man. The economy going. Like if you a man and you have any issue with a woman, the government is going to try to destroy you.
It's a trap. Yeah. It's pretty much they are literally waiting on you. I be trying to tell the young cats out here, I'm like, yo, the last thing you want to worry about right now is women. Don't even get your sausage wet yet. Focus on your bread. I actually had a guy that I picked up the other day, and he was like 21, and he was going through something. He's like, man, give me some advice. And I literally was just like, you don't need to worry about women. I was like, if you gotta just, you know what I'm saying, empty your balls, use a rubber. Like I literally had to tell him that, like, use a rubber, but if not, focus on your purpose. I was like, you don't even want to worry about kids until you like 30, 35. Don't have no accidents. And I was just like, look up what the average amount it is to raise a kid. I think it's like $200,000-300,000 from birth to 18.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
And I was like, if you could literally save that in a retirement account or put up in 10 years, I was like, do that, save up the amount you think you would need. Because I was like, you either gonna be able to spend that with your family, or you gonna at least have that to be drained from child support for 18 years.
Exactly. I mean, like, that's what's destroying dudes. Once you have a baby, and then if you don't stay with her, like we always talk about on here, child support will destroy you. So I mean, like, the numbers on that is just crazy. The amount to raise a kid, but at the same time, we supposed to need more babies being born.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Y'all say, yeah. Did you say you run this on X too? This live?
Yeah. So exit.
Elon, if you are listening, when you get done with these other entities, go check out child support. We need you to audit it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think all of us got some money coming back on here somewhere.
Yeah,
Please
absolutely.
audit child support.
Definitely.
If they do that, I might turn Republican.
Everybody got a price, so that's your price.
Yeah. I want to add. Yeah, I want to add. I think they should add some kind of stipulation on child support, because honestly, a lot of these guys are going into the courthouse when it's time to get served for child support papers, and they're getting raped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through situations like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's too late now. Thank God that my son is 18 now and my stuff is not accumulating. You know what I'm saying? So,
advice time. I'm gonna always say this program. If you are male dealing with a child support case or custody and you are broke and you can't get a lawyer or you can't find a pro bono lawyer, some family courts are not like regular courts where they will give you a lawyer. Sometimes you can't. The family court is a circus. I'm telling you, there are like no rules in family court. It is a straight circus if y'all never experienced it. But if you have a last resort, if you're going through this and you don't want to get did up with no Vaseline, Chat GPT. I tell everybody that Chat GPT can give you the information. You can literally go on there for whatever state you're in and say, what should I be paying? You can, if you know the other parties, the baby mama income, use her income. With your income, ask it, so you can ask it the laws of the state. It can pretty much break everything down, and you can let it know, hey, I'm using you as a legal system right now. It'll say this isn't definite, but it will research all the state databases that you're in for what's available, and you could really come up with a good case to take to court, so you're not in there looking stupid. For all my guys, if y'all hear this listening, this is really good advice. If you just broke and can't afford a lawyer, or you scared, stop. That's one thing, we got to stop being scared of the courts. If it with custody or whatever, if you don't ignore the courts, if you're called up, go. If you don't have any type of resource, download ChatGPT. It's free, and I guarantee you, ask it the right questions, and you will get help.
But it really hits more when you have like multiple kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when it hits people. You know what I'm saying? That should be crazy.
I can tell you about that because I got two different cases, 2 different states.
Yeah, I'm glad I only had one, boy. I only had one. Oh Lord.
I got two, but it's from my ex-wife, so it's from the same person, and she lived like 12 minutes away from me. So it's like, dang.
Man, is it cordial or is it rough?
Oh, it's not cordial at all. It's not good. And I was with her for a long time. I was with her since I was in high school. And
wow.
I've been with for a while. Divorced like 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm still shocked over that, for real, man. Because you my dog, bro. So that shit was crazy.
Hey, but I bounced back. You see how I bounced back? Yeah.
What?
But you know what though? Most men do.
Yeah.
Most men
bounce back. Yeah.
It's the women that normally.
I had to bounce back, bro. Like,
yeah.
I'm
gonna tell you what happened. I know we off, and I'm cool freestyling right now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you what normally happens. Men normally bounce back. It's the women a lot of times that don't, and they will drag you for years, because a lot of times you end up finding somebody and you'll find that they alone. They might have a man here or there, but for the most part, the type of men they want aren't usually looking to get with the woman who has those kids, so it's harder for them. But I tell most men, if you give it about 5 years, you usually can come back pretty good. It took me about 5 years to really recover from mine.
Right. For me, I was with her almost 20 years. She was extremely bitter. She's still bitter right now. Like, we don't talk at all. And like, my daughter's 16, so I mainly just talk to her, but my youngest is 8, 9. But she hadn't been in a relationship yet. And she's still a problem for me. Like, so it's just like obviously you were a problem, you know what I'm saying? But they don't see it that way, Vo. Like, even if they the complete issue and they feel entitled, like, she feels entitled to everything. It doesn't matter if I did it before her, after her. She feels entitled.
Oh yeah, I go. Well, my youngest. So
Yeah.
I had 2 different marriages. Right. So my youngest is not. We don't really hear a lot, but the oldest mom, that entitlement was crazy, and a lot of it, like, I used to go back and forth, and then maybe the last 5 years, I just shut it down. Yeah, I'm like, I'm good. And I think it's been about, I had to block her like a year ago.
You preaching to the choir, bro.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, because they're getting on your nerves, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're already dealing with a lot, and then you already elaborate and explain to them, hey, I'm stressed out. And then they continue to stress you out. And it's like, you can't take it no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of guys, they have mental health issues, because they're being so stressed out. And when a black man try to express themselves, or it sounds more like complaining. It's like, I'm not complaining. I'm just getting this off my chest because I'm so stressed out that it has to come out some way. And then sometimes it comes out in the form of yelling or some kind of confrontation, which honestly, it probably could be avoided if the other person would have listened to the other person when they told them, hey, I'm already stressed out enough. I don't want to keep dealing with this.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. That's why I get upset a lot of times when we're so quick to say deadbeat, because a lot of times the man just withdraw because you have an outlet. I remember that I couldn't talk to anybody. As soon as I did, deadbeat, complaining. That's what I got. So a lot of times men will just withdraw. They don't want to cut off the relationship with the kid, but sometimes they have to because it's so combative with the mother of the child. And the thing is, society waits on you to do that.
Right.
So that the mother can go sip wine with her friends and talk shit on you. I've actually seen that with my daughter. Some of her friends, I'll see them out when I have my daughter. And a lot of times they would just talk to my daughter, and I didn't even know who they were. And there's some ladies, y'all listen to, stop doing that. Don't just go talk to the kid when they like 8, 7 years old. Introduce yourself. I know y'all done sat around and dogged out the father, but introduce yourself, because it would throw me off. I literally would have to stop because they would try to reach out and touch, and I'm like, I don't know you. But yeah, I've experienced that a lot. But yeah, we don't have any type of place to go. That's why these spaces are good. People try to demonize Red Pill and all the other men spaces, but this, I think a lot of men have been helped by this, including myself. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not Red Pill, but like, having these conversations, I definitely think is important. I know Slim super mad. He probably like, I've been waiting to talk about this. They're gonna talk about it when I'm gone. Slim, my bad. I'm bad. But since just us 3 here, like, I had to go to a parenting class during my divorce, right? All she had to do was go and like fill out a test on the paperwork. That's all she literally had to do. I had to go to like a literal class. And when I say it's like the most depressing thing I ever been to, it was one lady in there, right?
Yeah.
2 ladies. And the 2 ladies there are there. One's on drugs, so she can't get her kid. The other one, she like cheated a left or something, so she can't get her kid. But most of the men were averagely normal, and like we the ones dealing with not being able to see our kids and everything like that. And it was an older guy in there, and he was just like depressing. Like, he was like, oh, she left me. She went and got a younger guy. She's turning on my kids against me. and this, and that. So me and the other dude was just like, man, like she gonna eventually get over that. She gonna want to break this, and that. But the lady that was like on drugs was just upset the entire time, just making it depressing, bro. The most depressing thing I ever dealt.
And now I'm gonna tell you, I had the same. Georgia's the same way. We gotta take that
Parenting class.
But I love mine.
Oh wow.
Like, yeah, the dude in my class had to be red pill or something, because it was more about teaching you how to co-parent,
okay,
and conflict resolution. And it was one thing that stood with me, and I used it. Basically, what he was saying is it's probably going to be tension between the parents, especially, the custodial parent, normally the mother. He was like, they kind of tether the kid like a narcissist type thing, where they feel like they have control. But he was like, when you have your time is your time, right? So he basically was like, when you have your time, don't let the other parent bully you unless it's something within the decree or something within the plan, the courts. He's like, other than that, your time is your time. As long as you're not putting them in any type of harm, then they can't mess with you. And he's like, you could actually take them back to court. And the other thing he was teaching was about communication. And I'm saying that because I think they're very important. They help me. He was like, always be professional when you're communicating. If you're talking, he's like, feel like you can't talk, text. And then he was like, the best way to handle text is if you're talking and then all of a sudden they get in their feelings and say, he was like, if you feel anything like your stomach or queasy, he's like, wait 24 hours. That saved me, man. That saved me so much. And it was a thing of teaching my ex how to deal with me. Now she don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And it was even times she threatened to go to court. And I'll tell any man this, the other parent come after you for court, punch him in the mouth. Be like, all right, you get your lawyer, I get my lawyer. It's a party. Anytime that come up, don't act afraid. Like, even if you ain't got a lawyer, bluff it. So
okay.
That's what I learned in my parenting class. Yeah, it was a lot of like masculine, like you leader, you lead your life. When you had your kid, you had your kid. And I've even had to do that. My ex one time like had her in some cheerleading classes and made it on my weekend.
Yeah, that's happened to me. My chick took my kids to Orlando, and I live in Tampa.
Yeah,
on my weekend on Father's Day, so I get it.
Yeah. So
yeah, literally.
But when that happened, you got to nip it in the bud. I was like, I'll do it today, but I was like, in the future, it won't happen. I was like, if you don't get my permission first, if it's on my time, you wasted your money. And you have to be stern. If you're the non-custodial parent, don't think y'all don't have power. You do. Even if it's just your weekends. On your weekends, as long as you abide by the law, those are your weekends. She can't do nothing. Stop being afraid of these mothers just because they got the government behind them.
That's great advice, because a lot of dudes is scared because they'll put us in jail. They'll put us in jail. They get restraining orders. So. I mean, I understand why guys scared, because women, you know how they weaponize the government. That's
I'm gonna tell you now, the only way you can go to jail is if you make a threat. With parenting, not normally. Most they'll do is just take your weekends or something like that and give you more child support. But the only way you really can go to jail in that situation is if you fall behind on your child support and you get a contempt charge. So normally there's a lot of things before that happens. So a lot of the times when they get to some point where a man's in jail is because he was just upset and just frustrated and don't want to cooperate or just cut all out together. But it's a lot before you go to jail. And it's really about the money. Anything with parenting or schedule, stuff like that, that's going to stay civil for most of the time. Yeah, I done been through it all. I could tell you so much about it.
Well, we kind of segued into your main topic. Easy, you quiet over there.
What you mean? How am I quiet? Y'all talking. I don't want to interrupt y'all. What are you talking about? I ain't quiet. I'm letting y'all talk, bro. Y'all tripping, bro.
I'm gonna play the main subject with the kids being froze to death in the car, and then we can all tie this together.
All around tragic situation. A 2-year-old and a 9-year-old losing their lives, freezing to death.
Police say a car full of 5 children pulled into this Hollywood casino hotel parking lot around 1 a.m. Monday, a place to sleep for the homeless family. But by the next morning, the car had run out of gas, and by noon, the family discovered the worst.
The mother inside the van, along with 5 children, noticed that one of the children wasn't breathing. And she called family to come help, to convey to Children's Hospital.
A 9-year-old little boy found to be not breathing. Then later, a family member also finding that a 2-year-old little girl also not breathing. Both of the children believed to have frozen to death. Temperatures around 10 degrees in the city overnight.
Meanwhile, the mother has been detained, and as tragic as this situation is, police say this will be investigated criminally.
All right, before I let you go, Easy.
Yeah, I feel like people gotta take accountability of where the kids are at. You know what I'm saying? People have like busy lives and stuff like that, and a lot of these kids go to their friend's house or their aunt's house or their cousin's house and all that. But these people need to know where the kids at all time, especially at that young of an age, man. I don't think young kids like that should just be roaming around doing whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? They need guidance. So that's how I feel about it, bro. Right up.
Gray.
And there's an interview. Do you have an interview with the daddy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure. In this situation, negative 10 degrees, I remember, I don't know if y'all remember this, when in Chicago, like it was like a crazy frozen time, and they was giving the people like free hotel stays. Y'all probably remember that. It was like some type of crazy cold front.
Yeah.
So I feel like there should have been some resources for homeless people in that situation. But like I said in our chat, shouldn't have kids. Like a lot of people can't afford kids, can't take care of kids, and they have children. We get in the situation. I'm not necessarily saying that we should have more abortions, but I'm saying that I feel like people should think about, what she got 5 kids and then you sleeping in a car. I mean, that's a horrible situation. But I think that the parent was negligent putting the kids in that situation, but she had no resources, or she should have gave them up. I don't know what she could have done, but it's a sad situation.
Yeah, I agree, and I think more happened within the situation than she's saying. I really feel like now she's playing damage control. I feel like her ego was involved. I feel like her and the dad probably were going back and forth, and he wouldn't do what she wanted him to do, so she just snatched the kids and ran off and was like, "I don't need you." In this sense, sleeping around. Man, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if it comes out that she was in a casino. Because what I want to know is, what I want to know is, how did your kids freeze to death and you not get cold too? Because I've slept in the car before.
Yeah.
I was homeless for 8 months after my second divorce.
Wow.
And there were some cold nights. And if you get cold enough, you're waking up. You gonna wake up, cut that heat on. So my thing is, how did I know it can happen, but to me, there's more going on here. And back to what we were talking about as far as the government co-parent and stuff like that. I know a lot of people want to blame the father, and that's what we were saying. Like, it gets frustrating with fathers, and they're trying to say he should have did something. When you got the state and the government involved, a lot of times you can't do stuff if the mother don't allow you to. And that's what people aren't wanting to say. He might have been like, bring them on my terms or do this. And she was like, no, you need to give me this, or you need to pay my rent, whatever it was. She could have been using those kids as pawns. And he was like, I'm not going to give you money, but you can bring the kids by. And it could have been something where he was like, you could bring the kids by, but you can't stay here.
Right.
Because we hear that one too. I'm the mother of your kids. You should be taking care of me just like them. No. So to me, there's a lot more going on, and I'm gonna spill it all out because I think this type of stuff needs to be talked about. We shouldn't be keeping it under wraps.
And my question is, because like I had to do cold weather training when I was in the military, and you kind of feel when you get frostbite, you kind of can feel it. So I don't know like what type of mother she was, because why didn't the kid say, "Hey, I'm freezing," like prior? Because one was 9 years old. The baby, I understand a little bit more. She probably like didn't know what to say, what was going on. But I would think a 9-year-old would have said, "Hey, I'm freezing. Like I feel like something's going on."
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then I'm like, there's hospitals.
Yeah.
Like there's all kind of, why were you in a casino parking lot? I think after the investigation, there's going to be a lot more to this. That's why
so she was in a casino and she left the kids in there. That's what you're saying.
in my heart, I feel like she was in there on that slot machine, just
wow,
probably trying to hit 5,000 so she can go get a place to stay or something. I don't know.
Wow, I didn't know it was a casino parking lot. You just taught me something. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, that's what it's a Hollywood casino.
Oh, okay.
I think they were like on a 8th level or something like that, parked.
Oh wow, so and you know it feel colder when you are higher in the air.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know, man. That is just a lot more to it than me. I wish we had Jay here because I'm sure Jay would have had a lot to say against it.
He would have said capitalism is evil. That's what he would have been saying.
Maybe the parent was trying to do everything that she could, and
yeah,
maybe she was too afraid to go to a homeless shelter or for anybody to know her situation, because a lot of people be like ashamed of their situation and they don't want to tell nobody.
She tried the homeless shelter.
Well, she said she tried everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
she said everybody turned her down, which I have a hard time believing. If everybody turned her down, it's because she was probably insufferable. A lot of people didn't want to deal with her. That's something.
I guess I missed that part.
Yeah, when you start to put everything together, if everybody's turning you down, it's for a reason. I just don't take that she's out here innocent and she just some poor mother trying to get by with her kids. I'm not buying it.
Right.
But I'm gonna play the father.
Okay.
Curry, who's the father of 3 of her children.
I asked him, I said, can you get your kids for me? I said, I need help. You know I'm homeless. I done kept a room this long. I couldn't keep it no more.
They were homeless. Had Tatiana ever reached out asking to?
No, she did not. All she said was, can I get them? Can I get them just to get them? And can I get them because you're homeless? That's 2 different things.
She said she had been homeless for 3 months.
See, that's what I saw, about 3 months, but she ain't never said nothing to me. Nothing. So all them other sob stories, they can cut all that. No, she did not.
Curry, who lives in Novi, says Williams never specified why she wanted to drop their kids off to him.
She just asked, can I get them for a couple of days? But I told her I'm working and all that, and I'm out here. We're not close to each other, so I couldn't. But she knows all my family is right around the corner from her.
Did she reach out to any of your family?
No, she did not. And she knows she could have, like we always used to do.
He says the last time he held his children was a month or 2 ago, and that they typically FaceTime, moments he will miss. And there's a, police investigation into this. What is it you would like to see come of this? Obviously, nothing's going to bring back your 9-year-old and your 2-year-old.
Doesn't even matter to me. Can't get them back, so it's whatever.
Gray.
What I was gonna say is basically from my own situation. The mother is impossible to talk to and like to have like a set schedule. I deal with that right now. Thank God my mother's still alive because my mom is kind of intermediary between us. So like these women be doing emotional stuff and using the kids as pawns. And even though people probably looking at him and thinking, oh, he's a cold person, when you're really in a situation, that like you're trying to communicate with the mother and she's not giving you a straightforward answer. So like I know people go try to push blame on him, but it's like when you co-parenting, especially if it's hostile, it's hard for the father to be able to have any type of control. I don't know what's going on with my kids' schoolwork. I don't know basically nothing they got going on until they come and tell me. Like she has control over everything.
Yep, same here.
Yeah.
About I do have like I get up. Well, I used to. I don't get them. I used to get updates or emails and stuff like that from the school, but I don't anymore.
That's your boy.
Yeah, but after seeing that video, I got more clarity. I mean, it just seemed like she was being straight negligent, man. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe she was on drugs or something, bro. Because that's not normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can believe what 85 said.
Yeah. Says let's give him go through his comments since he ain't here. That lady man did this intentionally, allegedly. Have y'all heard that?
I haven't.
I haven't heard much about this story until now.
But when I keep saying something don't add up, that could be a part of it. So, and then the father, I feel like part of what he's saying is a lie too. I don't think he want to disclose how much they fight.
Yeah.
But I do think like, I think it was a situation where he was just like, if it ain't on my terms, don't bring the bastards by. But
I mean, in that interview though, he looked like he was clueless about it. Like he really didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just seemed like he was not involved, and I wish he was more involved, but that's what women do. Women push you away so you're not involved, and then when problems arise, they want to blame you or blame the man, excuse me. So it was like, it's your fault. You was doing all that. You ain't telling me no information. Man, stop.
Do y'all think she was getting high? Because did y'all see the transformation from that picture they showed to how she looks now?
yeah, I said that when I first seen it, like she's on something, alcoholic, high, or something. I'm gonna say what my theory is. So yeah,
I mean, some kind of substance abuse going on, man. Definitely, man.
Yeah, it's Michigan, it's kids. Like nobody took. No, I'm not believing that. I think she was doing something, and it probably wasn't the first time, but this time it didn't work. It was too cold.
I mean, if you look at it, like she's on something for real. Like she looked like one of them ones that be walking down the street searching like a zombie. You know what I mean?
Shoot, that casino got a hotel. I wonder if she might have been working.
She looked like a zombie, bro.
Slim said this, but I think a lot. We from the turnkey generation where you go home sometimes, mama working, and then you gotta just go in the house and you gotta lock the door, don't answer the door for nobody, and you're supposed to just sit in the house.
Yeah.
So I mean, like a lot of time that's negligence with the kids, but for her to be in such a bad situation, I mean, like. You remember like they have laws even when the parents when they leave the baby or whatever in the car in the hot car, then the baby died. So it's like, you should know if you cold and it's cold out there. Why do you just leave the key in the car and she ran out of gas so she couldn't have the heat running? That was the issue.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to point out something too that was brought up in the chat where they were saying the father should be charged. I don't think so. Because the way the laws are set up, the father had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I think it's a parent that has the custody at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like he really seemed like he really did not know what was going on. Like, and it looked really believable. Like, you can kind of tell when someone's lying about that, but he seemed like he was clueless about what was really going on.
I think he had some inclination was going on, but when you got the government that's saying they want their money for this kid, your main focus is working. That's how I am. Many times my ex like, hey, can you get the kid for this or that? I'm like, no. Like you want to drop the kid off whenever, but then you still want the child support on top of it. Like I have to work extra to pay for my house and then send money to you. When we split, that's 2 houses now instead of 1. And not only do I have to cover my house, now I have to cover yours. So no, you either get the time or you get the money. And if that's how he was about it, I agree with that. I ain't out here trying to be father of the year, trying to pay it the highest amount of child support and then be like, hey, I was there for PTA, I was there for award. No. You pick your battles.
So, Vo, you one of the ones where it's like, okay, like when the kid asks, so you be like, nah, I pay child support. Your mom got to pay for that.
Yep. I have.
Yeah.
Now, if I got it, but I'm not going to stress myself. And I have said that. But for the most part, you know, I'll get it if I can get it. But nah, other than that, I'm like, talk to your mom.
But honestly, I mean, this goes back to what you said earlier, Gray, that or was it Vulgar? And one of y'all said earlier that, you know, everybody shouldn't be a parent. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to those decision making before y'all get into the bedroom and handle y'all business. Like, are we ready to be parents? Do you really want to do this? Because this is for the next 18 years, we're going to be involved no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So I think people need to stop just busting in these chicks, man, with no mindset, bro. Like, yo, trust me.
I'm going to say it. Y'all going to hear it here first. I think if you feminist, you shouldn't have kids. If you're an independent woman, you shouldn't have kids. Like, again, if you want to get it on your own, you shouldn't be out here having kids.
Because that's the selfish mentality. Yeah,
you can't get a kid on your own. Even if you go to the sperm bank, that still came from some man. If you are selfish, entitled, you shouldn't have kids. Just like I've heard, even my exes have said it, but just like a lot of women, when they in arguments, they'll tell you, I'm the mother of your kid. You should care about me. You should take care of me. It should be the same with the father. If you can't see the other party, the father, as a human, if you're not trying to take care of him so that he could take care of your kids, if you only worry about yourself, shouldn't have kids. The only women out here that should be having kids are the women who are looking forward to being in a marriage, looking forward to doing the work, not being tit for tat, understanding what they got to do. Because most men, when we go into a marriage, we understand that we got to get up and do. There is no, you know what, I worked today, so you should do this. You hear women say that all the time. I had the baby today, so you should get the baby. It shouldn't be none of that. You should just get the baby. If y'all have any type of that, y'all shouldn't be out here having kids. I'm sorry. The only women that should be having them are the ones that understand, that really have a serious relationship with God, if you have it. Because if you really, or with God, you understand that it's God, Jesus, the man, the woman, then the kids. If you can't go by that order, you shouldn't be having kids.
So, Vo, the title of it is How the Lack of Black Fathers in the Home Leads to Tragedy. So do you feel like if the father, seeing him on video, if he was in the home or if the kids was with him, do you think this would have been prevented?
I think they would have still been here or had a higher chance of it. Because
I feel the same way.
You know what? She was homeless, right? He has a home. If she was able to, you could clearly tell she can't listen and cooperate. You could clearly look at her and tell she's just like deplorable in a sense. I hate to say it, but she's not taking care of herself. She looked crazy. But if she had a different mentality to be able to submit and listen to a man, and actually pick one, because he seemed crazy too, but maybe not. Maybe just a little hood. You know what I'm saying? But the man had a job, so we got to give him some credit. But yeah, if she'd have been in that home with him, they on one income, I think those kids would have been better.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is she didn't give him no option to help. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if she would have expressed what was really going on, he would have been like, all right, I want you out in the street, then, you know, maybe we can help you try to find some shelter or something like that. Like, it sounds like she was embarrassed to tell people. But at the same time, she did go out and try to find help. So maybe when she got denied, maybe that made her feel more embarrassed and she don't want to tell anybody else.
Nah, I'm gonna go against that. Now that you say that, I'm gonna tell you what my theory is of what happened. She tried to go to him and wanted him to do whatever, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that." It was something she wanted, and he was like, "I'm not about to do that." It probably was, "You can leave the kids, but you can't stay here," because they don't like each other, allegedly. And she was like, "No, if you can't take me, you can't have the kids either. I'll go do it by myself."
Oh,
That's my
maybe
theory.
that happened.
And it
Yeah,
sound and he knows if he comes out with that the whole world is going to attack him for it. And I don't think he's wrong if he stood on his ground like that, because that's something I would say to any of my exes. Y'all can never live with me. Y'all took me through the court. Y'all put me in the system. I would never do anything for my exes like that. But my kids, I'll do everything for them.
That sounds believable. That sounds really believable for real. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say something that Charleston White said that I've heard other people say. With the man don't get forgiven for nothing, but the mom can go to prison, be on drugs, whatever. She always gets forgiven. But if the dad do one thing small, the dad just is hated for life. Anything that it's easy to hate the father is just like the mom just gets like love for no reason. The mom can do no wrong, and that's the crazy part about this. Because if those kids was with the father, they wouldn't be going to the mother and saying, "Oh, he said he came to you." They'd be going to the mother. The mother would be like, "Oh, he's horrible. This, and that." If it was the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I gave my closing thoughts.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, thank y'all for rocking with us. Easy, what's your closing thoughts?
Yeah, I think it was a good show. A lot of these topics definitely were heartfelt. And I'm still kind of heartbroken about people getting fired from those government jobs and stuff like that, man. It's kind of crazy, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and it was another plane crash today, but we'll be on the Man Cave on Wednesday, bringing it to y'all again. And
Yes, sir.
it was us three tonight, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. But we'll keep bringing y'all more and more content.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
stop playing, man. We held it down, and y'all better stop doubting me, bro. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
Hey, the internet held on. The internet held on tonight.
I told you I got a new modem, bro.
Yeah, it was lit.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
For sure.
Let's see. I got anything?
Nah.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah. All y'all want to be better mothers, denounce feminism. Go get a man and submit. For y'all that ain't got kids and want to start families, learn how to get along. Stop this feminism stuff. Stop this entitlement. Y'all can't do it by yourselves. We need each other.
I think that's a great closing thought. And like, to me, try to work together. Like, it shouldn't be so hostile. If y'all can't be together, at least try to like co-parent effectively. And I hate to be like this, but I feel like it's on the women. The women are the ones bringing the problems, in my experience, and from most people that I talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll add to that, it is on the women. It is on the women to cooperate. And it should be on the man to set the standards, set the boundaries. This is co-parenting, because this is what I did. I set the standards. I set the boundaries. It was not without conflict. It wasn't major, because my ex for my youngest wasn't that, like, it wasn't like hood. You know what I'm saying? So, but for the men, yeah, you even in co-parenting, you should be setting the standards, setting the boundaries. Your expectations should be known to the other party, and it is up to that mother to cooperate. That's going to bring out the best co-parenting situation.
Easier said than done, but yeah, I feel you.
Oh no, it took like 6 or 7 months with me waiting 24 hours, not responding to BS. That's how I got to where I am now, where I don't go back and forth. Like, if I see it going crazy, I'm like, hey, let's stop. Or that's where that came from, was I developed that And like 5 to 6 years ago on my last divorce, I really developed that. Like once I see it going in a certain area, I'm like, all right, I'm good. Let's stop. Because you don't get anywhere.
It's
I
crazy.
told you my new equipment was gonna work, man. I told you, bro. I told you. I'm in there like swimwear now, baby. We in there, baby.
It's crazy. Co-parenting could have probably avoided this situation, but yeah, we got to come up with a catchphrase for the man cave. I know Easy over there firing shots. You want to go ahead and close us out with the firing shots?
Nah, man, I'm done firing my shots, man. I got no internet. That's my shot right there. My new internet is my shot.
Well, we'll be back on Wednesday with the man cave, and a new party will be on tomorrow at 8 p.m. and on Thursday at 8 p.m. Keep rocking with us, man cave.
Yo, man. Thank you, Vulgar. Thank you, Vulgar. Thank you, Gray, bro. I appreciate it.
For sure. We held it down. Y'all have a good night.
All right, I'll do the same.
Introducing the new party. We live stream every Tuesday and Thursday p.m. Eastern Standard Time.